Imagine a warship so massive it stretches longer than 3 football fields, a vessel powered by nuclear reactors, capable of launching the world's most advanced stealth fighters, and commanding a price tag of nearly $13 billion. This isn't science fiction. This is the USS Gerald R. Ford, the most powerful aircraft carrier ever built. And today, this giant of steel and technology has been removed from dry dock after undergoing critical maintenance. But this moment is more than just a routine milestone. It's a signal of how the U.S. Navy is preparing. The story of this carrier's dry dock journey is about much more than one ship. It's about the infrastructure that keeps the fleet alive, the new shipyard facilities being built for the next 100 years, and what it all means for America's role on the global stage. Dry docks are the unsung heroes of naval power. Without them, the world's largest warships could not be maintained, inspected, or repaired. For an aircraft carrier, maintenance isn't optional. Every 6 years, strict regulations require the hull, propellers, rudders, and valves to be inspected. And when you're dealing with ships the size of the USS Gerald R. Ford, but here lies the problem. The dry dock at Puget Sound Naval Shipyard, the only place on the U.S. West Coast where carrier maintenance is performed, was designed in the 1950s and built in the 1960s. That was an era of smaller carriers, not today's behemoths. The new Ford-class carriers simply won't fit. They need room not only for the ship itself, but also to remove enormous shafts, rudders, and propellers for servicing. Right now, the only dry dock capable of handling Ford-class carriers is in Norfolk, Virginia. For a carrier stationed in the Pacific, that means sailing more than 13,000 miles around the southern tip of South America to reach the facility. That's nearly 3 weeks at sea just for the journey, a journey that removes a vital warship from its theater of operations for months at a time. The Navy knows this is unsustainable. That is why it has unveiled ambitious plans to construct a new dry dock at Puget Sound, one designed to last into the next century. The commander of Naval Base Kitsap summed it up simply when he said, "This is the only place on the West Coast that can do maintenance on aircraft carriers." The new dry dock maintains the capability here in the Pacific Northwest for the next 80 to 100 years. The scale of the project is enormous. It will involve demolishing aging piers, upgrading electrical systems, replacing outdated cranes, and constructing new earthquake-resistant structures. The Navy has already spent nearly $50 million on design work alone. One of the biggest challenges is power. Modern carriers like the Ford rely on electromagnetic catapults to launch jets rather than steam. That means the shipyard itself needs 3 times the electrical capacity to handle the work. A project manager explained, "Looking into the future, the Ford-class carriers will not fit in the old dock. You need enough room at the back of the carrier to get the rudder off, get the shaft out, and get the prop off. In other words, this new dock isn't a luxury, it's a necessity." At the heart of this story is the USS Gerald R. Ford itself. Commissioned in 2017, it is the first new American aircraft carrier design in more than 4 decades, displacing more than 100,000 tons, carrying over 75 aircraft, powered by nuclear reactors that allow it to operate for 25 years without refueling, and featuring electromagnetic launch systems that reduce stress on aircraft. The Ford is the cutting edge of naval technology. But with innovation has come challenge. Since commissioning, the Ford has faced delays, technical issues, and criticism over. The United States is not alone in facing the challenges of maintaining supercarriers. Across the Atlantic, the Royal Navy's HMS has also undergone significant dry dock periods. In early 2024, it was pulled from a NATO exercise after corrosion was discovered on a propeller shaft. The ship had to limp to Rosyth on a single shaft and spent months in dock while both shafts were replaced. Like the Ford, the must be inspected in dry dock every 6 years. But, unlike the US, the United Kingdom has only one facility large enough to handle its carriers, meaning each time major work is required, the ships. For the US Navy, the new dry dock isn't simply about convenience, it's about strategy. The Pacific Ocean is vast, and potential flashpoints from the South China Sea to the Taiwan Strait require carriers to be ready at a moment's notice. If a carrier has to leave the Pacific for months just to undergo maintenance in Norfolk, it creates a dangerous gap in America's forward presence. By upgrading Puget Sound, the Navy ensures that both aircraft carriers and ballistic missile submarines, the backbone of America's nuclear deterrent, can be serviced on the West Coast. And with the new Columbia-class submarines entering service in the late 2020s, the timing couldn't be more critical. But projects of this scale never come without challenges. Environmental concerns loom large. Puget Sound is already a Superfund site due to decades of pollution from fuels and solvents. Expanding the dock will require careful mitigation. Historic preservation is another issue. Iconic landmarks, such as the massive World War II-era hammerhead crane, nicknamed the Eiffel Tower of Puget Sound, may need to be moved or demolished. The project also faces questions about workforce shortages, with lawmakers asking whether enough skilled welders and technicians can be recruited. Still, the Navy insists the benefits outweigh the costs. The project is expected to create more than 1,200 jobs and inject over $76 million into the local economy. And more importantly, it guarantees that America's most advanced warships will have a home for maintenance and upgrades on the West Coast. When complete, the new dry dock will be multi-mission capable, able to handle everything from Ford-class carriers to Columbia-class submarines. It is designed to last into the 22nd century. For the people of the Pacific Northwest, it cements the region as one of the most important hubs of American naval power. The most important missions the Navy does are done here. The removal of a $13 billion aircraft carrier from dry dock may sound like just another milestone, but in reality, it reflects decades of planning, billions of dollars in investment, and the ongoing race to maintain naval superiority. From Puget Sound to Norfolk, from Rosyth to the South China Sea, one truth remains. A navy is only as strong as its ability to maintain its fleet.